What's happening, fellas? Hey, Kenny Berger, how are you? First on the scene always. I'll go on a little out of tune here while we're getting started. So this is my 60 Relic Strat that you guys know that's been defenderized for the most part. The only thing left Fender original on it is the paint. Yeah, that's it. It's a great piece of wood. And I realized that Peter and I bought this guitar for 65 amps just to have some good guitars in the shop and to test with, you know. In 2002, I think. Anyway, great guitar, great piece of wood, but it's all been redone. Oh, thanks, Sam. Yeah, my birthday was yesterday. You only turned 39 once in your life, I'm just saying. Still not in tune. Hold on a second. So these pickups I swapped out. I put the Ron Ellis's 57 set in there. And I think they're a better fit for this guitar. The 64 set that I had in here is going in this other Strat that I'm putting together out of parts. Nice parts. I think it's going to be ridiculous, but sort of a 64 Strat clone with the wood and everything. And it's really got nice components. But this 60 Relic, so let me tell you what's going on here. Oh, my headphones want to come out. It's a 1960 Relic, custom shop thing. We saw it right there. I put locking tuners on it, which really stabilize the guitar. Hey, Javier Sesueda. Well, bienvenidos. And then Michael DeTemple did his fossilized Mastodon ivory nut, which I really think makes a big difference. I also had Michael replace the frets. He's got his own little unique gauge of fret wire that's just a hair larger than 6105s, but that way he can crown them. He has a special way he likes to crown the frets and then like landscape the neck and everything. So it works really great. The bridge set is the Callahan bridge set, full set. So like down to the claw and the springs and the screws and the block and everything. All Callahan, which at the time was, the stuff. I still really like it. Hey, Haas, you're not rude, man. It just doesn't have the outer knobs. It has the pots. Everything works. The problem is I'm fundamentally lazy. You have to pull the chassis out to put the knobs on the amp because you can't get screwdriver down here, right? So I have to finish putting this amp together. I really like this amp. It's a Monterey. You can really hear that EF86, okay? Yeah. It's got a real different sound to it. Man, I got some serious headphone puffy hair going on today, don't I? Time to get a haircut. So I'm just getting used to these pickups and I'm getting used to the set, the level. I mean, they look kind of low to me, but we'll see. So this amp, the bump switch is on a foot switch, right? You can really get some great... good American sounds, right? If you like American kind of rock and roll sounds, it really does that. Let me turn the treble down a little bit on there. Very Stratty. This 57 set of his is really cool, I think. So what did I do last week to miss the show? I apologize. What I was doing is I was cutting some sound clips for Eminent Speakers. I was playing guitar, and Tom Sorowski, engineering. So it was really fun, and that was my first time trying these pickups in this guitar. So we did 14 speakers through several different amps. I had the Monterey. We had a London, and we had this prototype amp, which the other prototype, which is the 6L6 prototypes. Shave the head and grow the beard longer. Yeah, man. I'm not a millennial, but I got you. Mike Leaptrop says, "Hi, Dan. How, Mike? Good to see you, buddy. Is the bump circuit the same on all your amps? You voice each one to the particular amp?" Well, actually, both. That's a good question. They are effectively the same circuit. The different amps will have different values in that circuit, if that makes sense. So like for some, a larger cap makes sense or a larger resistor makes sense. But it's effectively the same thing. You just see different values in that circuit that are voiced for that amp. Hosh, yeah, El Pompadouro. That's right. And then my Marshall is arriving today. I was supposed to be here this morning, and then UPS went, psych. My 70 Marshall is going to be here. I'll play that next week on the show. It's the one Peter's had for a long time, and Peter has made it just killer, flawless. So you're going to hear that. It's really fun. It's been modified, so it's big open sound Marshall. It's not the narrow honky Marshall. It's a big open one, and it's a 1970 with Fawn Tolex. So those of you that know me, that's home base for me. And then that's going to be here today. So anyway, point being, I didn't have my Marshall. I was supposed to have my Marshall. And I borrowed my neighbor down the street here on the corner is a studio guitar player who is amazingly accomplished and has more gear in his garage than most music stores have. So I called him and said, "Hey, man, you got a Marshall I can borrow?" He goes, "I got a 74 Super Lead with the Brown Eye mod on it." And I went, "Yeah, that'll work." Actually recorded really well. So you'll start seeing those on Eminence's... Sorry, I'm getting distracted by these pickups. I really like them. Middle position. Hey, it's my cousin Patricia. Hi, Pata. How are you, darling? I've been here fourth position. Neck. I like these pickups. They're really good. You know what? We can get Peter on here, Mike. We talk about it all the time. I can do a split screen on here. And it's summertime, so he's working a lot, right? He was just out with Cheryl for a long time, and then there's a bunch of Close Enemies gigs coming up. It's kind of sad. When he gave me this amp back, he was really missing it. He was really like, "I'm really going to miss this amp, man. I really like it." It's a good Marshall. Anyway, so Eminent Speakers, I'm not here doing a sales pitch for Eminence. I just want to tell you guys the truth. I've never been a fan of Eminent Speakers. Rick Skillman he's the head of Eminence USA now. If you guys know Rick, he was at Celestion for 20 plus years. He has helped their engineers really change things. I went in there very skeptical, and there's 4 or 5 of those speakers where I thought, dang, I really like this speaker. And even Tom Sorowski, who's this, maybe the best guitar engineer around. He maybe has some peers, but I don't think there's anyone better than him. Even he was like, dang, that's a good one. These are Eminence? And like, yeah, they're Eminence. And so I'll tell you more about them as the sound. I have the sound clips, but I don't think I should be playing them before Eminence does. That might be a little inappropriate. But anyway, I'll share them with you. We'll play them here on the show if I can. I can't really mic up here in my house, but. So what we can do, hopefully we can get it where Peter is here, Mike, and he's in his home studio, and we can play guitar. I have him play guitar because he plays guitar way better than I do. Oh, Javier, good question. He did not change the transformers. This particular one has a Mercury Magnetics power transformer in it because the one that was in there blew up a lot because of somebody. I don't want to say who because of me. It was just a power transformer. It has the original output transformer in it and the original choke. And most of it's pretty original on the board. There are things that, we call it 65ing an amp, which every time I mention this, I get like 20 people go, hey, would you do that to my amp? And yeah, we can do it if you want. But what I do is, some of those old amps didn't even have grid resistors on them. So if you blow a screen grid, on your power tube, massive amounts of current shoot through the amp, and it's really bad for it. So I put these little small 1%, wire wound flame-proof resistors on the screen grids, like a modern amp has. By modern, I mean 1975. It really saves the amp, and it saves the tubes. And then we put other little, tiny resistors on the control grids. So it keeps the tubes from blowing, but then when it does blow, it doesn't fry the entire amp, right? But they're really high-grade resistors. Like you look in even modern production amps, and this kind of baffles me, but if you look inside of one of our amps, you can see those resistors. We do them at the power section. They're black, and they're very heavy-duty. They're military spec, and they're 1% tolerance. I got to turn the comments on. Sorry, guys. There we go. They're 1% tolerance, and they're flame-proof. So those white concrete resistors that you see in every amp, it's really amazing. Those white concrete resistors will actually catch on fire if you blow a screen grid on one of your power tubes, which is what goes on power tubes is the screen grid. These are really good. Yeah, Spruce Creek, I have a pair of XF2 Muller's double halo getters, not just the single halo getters. And then I have a bunch of I-61 Mullard preamp tubes. So it's getting the full treatment. It's going to be perfect. So, and I'll play it here on the show. When it comes in, I'll get the tubes in, get it all biased up. There's on the couple of the mods that he did like the Eddie Van Halen mod, right, is what they call it. Rob, I'm going to answer your question. I'm not ignoring your question. You're playing if it makes you happy. Did I show you the tuning? There's a special tuning on there, Haas. I can do it. I can show it to you. It's basically open G. You just leave the low A string up, right? And you get that drone effect, which as a Northern English Celtic type person, you'll appreciate the drone, right? It's a intentional Scottish kind of bagpipey kind of thing. So anyway, gosh, I'm tired. I'm sorry. I went to the gym this morning and it wore me out. So no, the Eddie Van Halen mod. So if you guys, we're going to go deep in the weeds here. So for some of you, you're just going to turn cross-eyed here and not knowing the hell I'm talking about or why I would bring it up. Off of V2, there is a filter cap in there, an electrolytic. It's 25 microfarads, and that kind of controls the frequency range of that tube. The Eddie Van Halen mod is, instead of a 25 microfarad one, you put a 250 microfarad on there. And it's just big and feral and kind of wild. And that's Eddie's amps. It's one of the things that were in Eddie's amps. It's one of the secrets of Eddie's amps. But also the net of that is you get this ridiculously good clean sound. All right, you know the tuning, Haas. Okay, cool. Just in case, brother. But you get this really great clean sound out of Marshalls that you don't normally get, right? So, you know, Eddie had a lot of really great clean sounds, and those are just old Plexi Marshalls that have been modded. So with Marshalls, they tend to narrow the frequency range into the mid-range quite a bit. And this just opens it up. So when you go into distortion, it gets a little crazy. It gets a little wild. So that mod I might put on a switch. You know, go between the original 25 microfarad cap into the 250. This amp has been cut up, and I'm not preserving. Excuse me. I'm not preserving this for sale or anything. It's just my workhorse amp. And I might be able to get a 69 50 watt off of a friend of mine. That's pretty bone stock. It's been reworked a little bit, but it's pretty cool. Anyway, so the IR I'm playing here too is Marshall 412 with M's in it. So, okay, let's see. Let's go back. Rob Price asked a good question. How similar is the Brown Eye mod to the Whiskey and Little Whiskey Dirt channel? I don't know exactly. That's more closer to the Dirty Shirley, which was a mod. The Dirty Shirley was a mod. And then at some point, all of Dave's amps were actually mods you could pay him to do. And his business partner, Rob, at one point went, why don't we just make the amps? Instead of modifying everybody's Marshalls. Sorry, I'm getting really distracted. So yeah, Rob, I think it's more the Dirty Shirley thing. Good chimey, ringy stuff, huh? Very sparkly pickups. We even go super clean. You're hearing more pick. So speaking of pick scratch on the show, which a lot of you have told me fairly that, hey man, it's a little too much sometimes. I bought a lavalier mic that I'm going to try. So it'll be right here, so I don't have to gain it up much, and it'll be behind the guitar. But the adapter that came with it doesn't fit. It's a mini XLR. And I have adapter cable going from mini XLR to regular, and it doesn't work. I was going to use it today. So you got that to look forward to. Hoss Thompson, great question. At the risk of getting super geeky, that's all good. I mean, even people that don't really know about this. Hey, Rob Taylor, good to see you, buddy. Says, at the risk of getting super geeky, what's the difference between the late 60s Plexis like Kossoff used in the 70s ones? Not too much other than voltages. Like, for example, my 70 that's coming in, the B plus voltage on that's about 380 volts. On the 69 that my friend has that I'm trying to maybe get, it has 440 volts on the plates of the power tubes. That's quite a difference, 60 volts. So I need to get a brown box because I can't, if I run that here in LA, like right now, my Furman thing says I'm getting 123 volts here. And it's expecting 115 for the American ones. And then the British version is expecting 220, and you guys are like 230, 235 over there now. So if you plug them into the wall, man, so the rough math, the cocktail napkin math, is for every voltage coming out of the wall, when it gets rectified, it gets multiplied times 4. It's not exactly 4, but just for doing easy conversation, it works. So let's say, for example, I plug in my 70 or the 69. I've got a Variac here, which is good, but I think I'm going to have to get a brown box. Anybody have one you want to sell used? I'll buy it from you. I'm trying to get them to get me an industry accommodation, but I haven't heard back. So let's do the math, right? If I plug in my 1970, which is expecting 115, and it gets 123, that's 8 volts difference, right? Times 4 is 32 volts more. So that one will get the B plus up to about 412 volts, which is okay. It's not how it was designed. The tubes will be fine. But the 69, which already rolls at, when it sees 115 volts, it puts out 440 volts B plus, right? And we add 8 more volts to that. That means the B plus voltage on the power tubes is going to be 472. That will pop some tubes. Oldie, especially if it's got, I think this one has good Siemens 6CA7s, the L34s in it. The gain on this to make it work right, but so you get my point, right? You got to be really careful. So you guys that have old amps, and I know Hoss, you have some old boxes, same thing, like a brown box or a Variac. The brown box is just more accurate. The Variac actually drops current too, so you know it'll keep your amp safe. Rob Price says, I actually found that my Dirty Shirley Mini was in the same ballpark as the Empire. Yeah, it's Marshall-y kind of stuff. I sold my Empire to pay for my whiskey because the Dirty Shirley Mini covered that same brand. Well, there you go. Sounds like a smart move for you. I'm really digging these pickups, and I'm quite distracted by it. Anyway, so I'll bring that amp out when it shows. It's coming in tonight. Originally, the UPS thing said between 9:15 and 12:15, so it'll be at 10 or 11, and I'll just unbox it and pop it up here, put it on the Variac, and without even upgrading the tubes or anything, just whatever tubes Peter has in it. Oh yeah, Javier, let me get to that. So, but now came out of the gym this morning and I looked at the tracking. Is it coming? Is it coming? Like a little kid on Christmas. Now it says between 5 and 8:30. What a bunch of shit. But anyway, you'll get it. Don't worry. And we'll go off the ranch. We'll go off the 65 ranch. So Peter and I never really made hardcore Marshall stuff just because there's a lot of Marshalls out there. And Marshall still makes pretty good amps. But when you guys hear this one, I'm going to pose the question to you, should I make a copy of this amp? Because it's really special. And I could add, modern stuff to it. And just add to the other plethora of Marshall amps out there. Clumsy. Javier says, any brands you'd recommend to keep the voltage and noise under control for brown boxes? Well, Brown Box is the brand. The company is named Amp RX, but Brown Box is the piece. Let me get one here. I'll get a link for you. That's the best one that I know of. Like everybody I know here in LA has a Brown Box. And our friend Pat Garrity designed it. And it's brilliant. Gosh darn it, come on. B-O-X. Oh my God, it's hard to type when you got a guitar over your hands. Brown box voltage regulator. Here we go. Let me send you. I'll put you. And they have them for European setups as well. It's kind of expensive. If you look online, you can. This is the list price from the manufacturer, which is like $5.59. If you look online, you can get them for $3.99, $3.49, that kind of thing. There you go. Was the phone? Yeah, I think it was. It was part of the Tone Quest report. Peter's had it. When I shut down the factory at the end of 2012, I sent all the Marshalls to Peter. That 71, which is, I had it for a long time, and he's had it ever since, is one of my favorite Marshalls ever, but he's not going to give that one up. This 70 is one that I made a lot of money with. It's good ringy Strat. I like it. I think if you can find that article, I can tell you it's 1970 Fawn. It's a great amp. Hey, what are you guys doing? Hey! Sorry, crazy ass dogs. Hey, that's not cool. What are you doing, monkeys? Sorry about that. One of our dogs is a recent rescue, and she thinks we are under imminent attack every time the mailman comes. She tears up the house. It's crazy. Hey, you, stop that. That'll do. Yeah, you're done. Stop that. Yeah, she's a young one, Hoss. You got it. Yeah, she came from a very abusive situation, so I kind of give her a break. But this attacking the door every time somebody comes there, it's just the mailman. Comes every day, except Sunday. Sorry, I'm trying to do 2-3 things here, and these pickups, I love them. They really, I don't know if it's coming across on the internet, but in my ears, they sound like crazy good. They got that spanky, rolling, chimey thing. I'm not doing any, I got echo and a little verb on here. Let's go completely dry. It's very exciting. You know, I don't put them on. Oh, I know she will. It's just I don't want her barking and screaming, while we're doing the show, but she literally goes sprinting and scratching the hardwood floors and trying to attack the door. And I'm like, dude, downshift a little bit. I'm picking back by the bridge there, obviously. Yep, by the neck. Yeah, nice and bouncy. I agree, Spruce Creek. It's good sound. I'm going to lower that neck pickup just a hair. I think it's just a little strong. Let's see what we can get here. I go in very subtle increments, right? I hate to do too much and go, then where was I? There we go. A little more balanced, right? That's very balanced sound, right? Well, that's probably too low. Now let's move that middle pickup up just a hair. Little tiny increment. it's good. Hey, Phil, what's up? You're not late. I'm about ready to quit playing guitar here in a second, though, which is probably a bonus for most people. I don't know, man. Maybe I'll pull it back up just a little bit. Maybe I made it too balanced. We'll do halfway back to where it was. Let's see. We're going to just a hair more. Yeah. There we go. There it is. Got a little bit of that edge back. Rob Price says, my wife was joking this morning about our a-hole cat is just as well trained as her sister's Labrador. The cat has to sit, stay, and give me your paw. Wow, that's unusual for a cat, right? Yeah, there we go. For lack of a better word, there's a little telly in there. I went too far, but that little bell tone. The EF86 in here really helps. I mean, that's, if you like bright, sparkly stuff, an EF86 is the way to go. And when you go to the second position, yeah. I need to bring that up just a little bit, huh? It's a little bit tame for my redneck taste. I'm just going in subtle increments, like a half a turn on the screw. Go a little more. A little bit of a, yeah. Let's try that. Yeah, there we go. Just a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry. There we go. I flipped the switch to the fourth position by accident. Sorry. Yeah. Got it raised up to where it gets a little bit of wah to it, you know? Let's put a little bit of that echo and verb back on. Yeah, there we go. We're getting close. We're getting close. There's always a sweet spot. Haas says, so what's a Monterey Specs? I don't know anything about that model. It's not crazy different from your Tupelo, other than it has an EF86 in V1 instead of a 12AX7. So if you remember on our amps, one of the first amps, the third amp we released was called a Soho. And it had EL84s. This is just that amp with 6V6s, different transformers, of course, but it's the Soho circuit with 6V6s. So it's kind of like an American cousin to the Soho. So it's like the front end is kind of a hybrid Vox thing. So it's an EF86 like you would see in an AC15. And then, but then it has a 12X7, which has another gain stage and a cathode follower, which is what you would see in an AC30. So it's kind of a hybrid of those two preamps. We did some other little secret sauce cooking stuff in there, but that's basically it. And then it has a half wave, like concertina phase inverter. which distorts really nicely. So the London and stuff like that has that half-wave phase inverter in it. But you can hear that clangy high sound. That's the EF86, right? I've got it all gained down, but if I go up to... Let me put a pedal on it, just for fun. It does really well. Hoss Thompson asks, wasn't the Soho the basis for some of the Ventura? No, not really. There's a little overlap there, but when we did the Ventura, we started out, everybody wanted us to just make the color channel from the London into an amp. And we did, but we decided to put 6v6s in there. And when we realized, 6v6 is a very different tube than an EL84, so we had to put another tube in there to push them harder, which is what the Ventura is. But it's only a 12AT7. Yeah, it's a good American sound, isn't it, Spruce Creek? It's a good little rock and roll amp. If you want to do, go a little bit. I don't have any pedals on now. Let's just go back down up here. Whoops. It's alright if you love me. It's alright if you don't. I get this feeling you're something leaving. I get this feeling you won't. All right. Your eyes give you away. Yeah, it's I love the Monterey. It's one of my favorites we ever made. But it's very American, even though I have a lot of British elements in there. I think it works really well. It's kind of a British front end. EF86 is a European tube, not an American tube. The equivalent would be like a 5781, like Fred Tacone used in Divided by 13s. Similar tube there. That's a little more mid-rangey tube than the EF86 is a little more full range. Both great, just different. So yeah, and it's going well with this Ron Ellis pickups. That's funny, Hoss. Break down, go ahead and give it to me. Honey, baby, break down. Woo, it's alright. God, I haven't played this in years. I got to be careful. I did the Chuck Berry thing. It's all right. My favorite, Hoss, is the live version where he goes into the Ray Charles song. Oh, woman, don't you treat me this way. I don't care if you do or not. the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Javier says, any plans of make a cabinet with some of the speakers you test? Yes. There's a few of them that I think are really great. One of them in particular I think is really useful for old rock and rollers. It's called the Muse. I think you can look it up. They might be selling it already. It's a great speaker, and it's 92 decibels. So like a G12H30, which is my favorite Celestion, is like 99 or 100 decibels, which means you put 1 watt in there, it makes 100 decibels of noise, right? Alnico Blue is like 98, 97. It's right in there. That's why they mix so well. This one is 92 decibels. So that doesn't sound like much. Dan, 8 decibels, that's less than half as loud. Every 3 decibels or so is twice as loud, right? So when you cut a speaker down by 7 or 8 decibels, it's minimum twice as quiet. So that means you can take your old amps like my Marshall, which I'm just going to run into this power station here at the Fryette power station. But you can run your old Marshall into a 212 or a 412 cabinet and play it. We did it. I played a 74 Super Lead through it, and Jesus, it was great. It sounds really good. It's not very expensive. I think it's $150 or something. So, hey, George Ludlow, from the wind-blown, heat-stoked plains of Oklahoma, where the wind comes whipping down the plain. For sure, man. I'm from Missouri. I know it well. I play a lot in Oklahoma. I also had to play, I played a little college golf. I had to play against your golf teams, which were damn good. And of course, we're old Big 8 brothers from the Big 8 Football League with Barry Switzer coaching them Sooners. It's a good rock and roll sound, man. Take a little treble out of that. It's a good rig here. I think I'm going to take it. Anyway, so there was, let me get back to your question. Yeah, that's right. All but a memory. So Javier, so the Muse is great. M-U-S-E, Muse. That was really cool. And it's low volume speaker. Like you can really, if you tube amps, you have to push them to get the love out of them. And they're really nice sounding speakers. They redid their Governor speaker, which you're not supposed to say it, but it's kind of a Celestion M or H kind of knockoff. Can you guys stop? Hey, monkeys. And man, that speaker sounded great. And then the Wizard also is kind of a Celestion thing. It's more like a 60s Celestion. It's got that honk, honk, honk to it, which was really cool. Blending those two speakers, the Wizard and the Governor, were fantastic. Like really, really good. I really enjoyed them. Tom and I made clips. We blended them on purpose because we noticed, like, dang, that sounds good. Because we were cutting with a 212 cabinet, so we could do 2 speakers at once. Sit, Ubu, sit. So we could do 2 speakers at once, right? Close miking. And those are great speakers. I mean, I really recommend them, and they're really affordable. I think, $120 or something. They're really nice. And then on the American side, there were 2. They were designed by George Alessandro. There was a GA64, which sounded great. I mean, good. Kind of sound like a Jensen concert speaker. Tom and I both really like that speaker. I still have them in the cabinet. I have the cabinet here. The GA64, and then there was a GA59 that were great. So that's 5 right off the top of my head. There's some other ones. There's some really, if you're really into like heavy metal, they had 2 that were signature speakers. One was from a dude in Slipknot, and the other guy, I don't know. I can't remember his name because I'm an old fart. But they're very geared towards high gain amps. Like so if you're doing the drop D super gain thing, really, really good. Really nice. But for just us normal rock and roll guys, I mean, the Muse is killer. And we were playing it through, good cabinets. It's really nice. Yeah, the DB77. Yeah, that's right. Um, that's the one that was, I think, from the guy in Slipknot. The DB77 is kind of a signature speaker for him. But that speaker actually sound like you said, it works great for classic rock. It sounded really good, especially like a clean Tele or Strat. It was really nice. So we did all these clips with 74 Super Lead that had the Brown Eye mod, the Monterey. They're not on every speaker because sometimes it just didn't make any sense. Like we did the London with the Marshall quite a bit, and then we did the Monterey with Tom had a drip edge Super that's been really gone through. So we were using the Monterey with the Super quite a bit, and it's like 67 Super, 68 Super, something like that. And dang, did it sound good! Really, really nice. And I think Bob Dixon went through that amp thoroughly for Brendan O'Brien. Actually, Brendan had it all brought up to spec so he could use it to record with. Tom leaves it at Brendan's room, which we were originally going to record in Brendan's room, but then he booked it, so we moved to another production suite in Eagle Rock. Same quality gear, like we're going through Neve preamps and really nice stuff. But the whole purpose of it, that Telly's almost done, Hoss. You'll see it soon. The whole purpose of this, I'm playing simple stuff on purpose, kind of like what I play here on the show, because I want you to hear the speaker and not listen to me. So one of the things that Rick at Eminence and I talked about, which I think is really, hopefully, the future of demo stuff, is instead of getting some flame-throwing guy who can shred his ass off to play, just getting a normal guitar player, and we're using it with gear you can buy. So we recorded them with 57s. They were Neve preamps, but they're the new ones, BAE preamps. This is stuff you can buy at Sweetwater and at Guitar Center. They sound great. So this is something you can recreate. So we're not going to sell, and we didn't change anything. We just mastered it. There's mastering plugin to, bring the volumes up to, production level or broadcast level. But so there's no deception here. So I'm playing through amps you can get. None of them are crazy. They're guitars. It was a Les Paul, a Strat, and a Tele. That's it. The Junior I brought, my Junior, for some reason, would not stay in tune, so we never used it. So the clips either have a Les Paul and a Strat, or they have a Tele and a Strat, or a Tele and a Les Paul, depending on which speaker and which amps we were using. But we wanted them to be honest, not deceptive. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I watch clips of people, I end up just listening to the guy. And it's a healthy association. That's right, Phil. It's for normal people, for the average smo. But I don't want to say names, but there's some really great guitar players that do demos. And I think it's kind of intellectually weird because I'm never going to play like that guy. And he's got really bespoke, crazy gear that we're using. Is that really something you want to go spend money on? I just played, there's no effects whatsoever. These are dry, they're literal, and I'm playing very simple things. Basic chordal things, little licks here and there so you can hear it. We played with clean, crunch, and dirty. Not like over the top gain, kind of thing. So they're honest, and they're intentionally honest. And I think this is a new concept that I think will catch on. I think it's going to make a big difference. I got tubes all over my desk. Who wants a tube? What are these? That's an ARS. Huh. Long plate JJ, I think. One of the old long plate 803s. Anyway, so look for those to come out soon. If Rick gives me permission, I'll share them with you here on the show. And then we might do videos as well. But it was really fun. We had a good time. But it was like I said, it was kind of a new concept of like, hey man, I'm not going to try to wow you here and fool you into buying something. This is what the speaker sounds like. You guys know my guitar playing. I'm okay. I'm not amazing. It's that kind of stuff. And so you really get a sense of what the speaker actually sounds like with the British amp, with an American amp. Clean, crunch, dirty, right? So I think you'll like it. I think you'll like it. Also, we really like the concept of just like, no, man, this is what you're buying. You're not buying so and so guitar player ripping his ass off through some incredible boutique gear. That's not it. That doesn't matter. It's not honest. That's not what you're going to sound like. And most of you guys can play as well as I do or better. And so you get the idea. Um, it's just basic chordal stuff with some cool little licks in it. And that's it. So I look forward to sharing it with you. But it's kind of a new concept with demos. We're trying to skin the cat the other way, skin the cat backwards, if that makes any sense. Anyway, so, man, I got to run here in a minute. You guys have any questions or any thoughts that need to be answered? Anything at all? You can tell I'm tired, man. You can tell I am tired. I just noticed that I have this whole thing way overexposed. I've been looking like a pale honky. He's my favorite honky. A little better. I almost look human now. Look at that. When I try out a guitar at a shop, I play very simple things because I'm listening to music to the guitar and how fast that I play, not how fast I play. That's a good point, Rob Price. Yeah, I mean, I'm a manufacturer and we did some demo stuff, but it was always Peter and I, schmo tones. I don't know that it's schmo. I think it's normal. I think it's just honest and normal. But we did stuff like that, and people always say, "Oh, you should go get this guy or that guy and do all the stuff." And I was like, none of my customers play like that. I mean, maybe some of you guys do, probably. I don't know. But how do you relate to some guy going and Henrik Olsen? Oh, thank you, man. That's very kind. But you know what I mean? Like, how are you going to relate to that guy? Because I don't play like that. I'm a ham-fisted rock and roller. I like being a member of a band, and I'll admit I have good time and I have a pocket. I have sort of old rock and roll sensibilities, not pop or modern rock sensibilities. So I don't relate to these guys. I listen to them play and go, well, shit, that guy sounds good playing anything. You could give that guy a Silvertone suitcase amplifier and a Teisco Del Rey guitar from 1970. Probably sound great. Good players are good players. But so we're trying to just highlight the gear, if that makes sense. Anyway, I do got to run. I got to run over to Michael DeTemple's actually and return the telly. I borrowed one of his tellies because my telly's not done over there. But you'll see it. It'll be soon. It looks good. I can share some pictures of it on the fan page if you guys want to see how it's coming along. I think really I have the pickups right here. Just so you know, you can see what they are right there on the box. It's a Frizzell humbucker and a 50B for the bridge. So the Frizzell humbucker will be in the neck, obviously. And, oh, thanks, Dennis. Yeah, man, it was my birthday yesterday. I had a really good time. My daughters and my wife take fantastic care of me. It's really nice. But I had kind of a birthday week. It was really cool. So, but yeah, I turned 61 years old, if you can believe it. 61. It's hard to believe because I'm so immature. I know for a lot of people, 61, you act like you're 37. I go, yeah, that's pretty true. I didn't grow up. Darn it. I have a desk with tubes all over it. Something's wrong with me. But, hey, George, thank you, buddy. Happy birthday. I appreciate it. A youngster. Yeah, that's right. I feel like a youngster, even though I got the hiccups right now. I feel very young. It's just when I look in the mirror, I go, oh, Jesus. Oh, right, right, right. Oh, God, I'm 61 years old. Paper round in Beverly Hills. I don't know what that means, Hoss, but I like it. Oh, paper route? Is that what you mean? Yeah, sure. Maybe. Anyway, so that's what's going on. Preserved in music. Forget about mirrors. Yeah, I know. I'm just making a joke. I'm just saying internally, I'll leave you with this fun story. My mom's dad kind of died by accident when he was Blake Wright. Hey, buddy. Happy birthday, man. Thank you. I appreciate it, buddy. Good to see you here. How you feeling, Blake? I hope you're all good, brother. I know you've been through a lot. Less than 2 months to 60 for, yeah, man, 60 goes by fast. So anyway, my grandfather died by accident when he was 92. Very healthy guy, strong dude. Shoveling snow out in the driveway in Missouri, fell down, got some injuries, and it was that classic nosedive, right? Broke his hip, broke some ribs. I think he had a head injury, the whole thing. So anyway, but I remember when he was in his late 80s, or maybe 90, and we're sitting around at a holiday or something, and my mom and all of her siblings were sitting around just complaining about getting old. They were probably my age at the time, 60. All clear. Excellent. Hey, Blake, that's good news, buddy. That makes me smile. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. And I hope that's forever, man. I hope that's forever. So anyway, they're all sitting around bitching about getting old. My grandpa's laughing in the corner, and they're like, what are you laughing at? And he goes, you guys are a joke. And they're, well, what's the secret? What's the secret? How do you stay young? He said, how old would you be if you didn't measure your age in years? And the room went quiet. I thought that was brilliant. I think at the time I might have been 17 or something like that. Maybe I was a little older, maybe mid-20s. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And the whole place went quiet. How old would you be if you did not measure your age in years, right? And one of my uncles goes, 32. And then one of my aunts, yeah, 27. And all of a sudden the whole room's having a blast. And he just kind of said, if you don't want to get old, don't get old. Your body's going to get old, but don't get old here if you don't want to. You can stay young your whole life. And he was like that. He was funny. He was naughty and had a bawdy sense of humor and said hilarious shit. Hilarious shit. 12 with more data. I think you're more mature than that, Phil. But anyway, I thought that was a brilliant saying. And take it with you. Share it. How old would you be if you did not measure your age in years? It's a thinker. It sounds like surface level stuff, but give it a minute to sink in. And so I kind of have had that in my head all the time. So in my mind, I'm 33, 34, somewhere around there. That's how I feel. My body does not feel like that, but my mind does. Because I do not accept that you have to get old in your mind. I do not accept that you're supposed to act like an old person when you're at a certain age. I do not accept that you cannot have fun and have a sense of humor and be playful and all these sorts of things past a certain age. So there you go. That's my birthday wisdom. My birthday wisdom for you today. You guys don't get old if you don't want to. You can't avoid your body getting old, but your mind does not have to. You guys want to see these Ron Ellis pickups really quick before I sign off? Joan, hey, it's my cousin Joan. I got a lot of cousins, as you guys know. Hey, Joan, it's really nice to see you. I wish I could actually see your face. 26, yeah, that's cool. Joan is one of my, they're kind of all wrapped up. Ron Ellis pickups. Let's see. I want to see what this Frizzell humbucker looks like. Let's open it together, shall we? Huzzah, squad goals, right on. I'm just telling you, it's yours for the taking. You don't have to get old. It's not required. You don't have to be. And my cousin Joan can vouch for me that I am somewhat immature for a 61-year-old dude. She can tell you for sure. Joan, I think you're more mature than I am, and even though you're a couple of years younger than me. You're what, 3 years younger than me, something like that. Anyway, oh, feels like Christmas. Feels like Christmas opening up. Oh, a nice Ron Ellis humbucker. Danny Likey. Danny Likey. Nothing like a handmade top end pickup to make a boy smile. There you go. Looks like a humbucker, of course, but I'll show you the. You can see Ron's logo back there. Yeah, Haas, it is a lovely thought exercise, isn't it? I'll cogitate on it later. Well, just think about it. Like, Joan, my cousin, answered. She's from the other side of the family, too, so this is not the grandfather that she knew. But how old would you be? Oh, a DeTemple, they're expensive. They're usually anywhere from $7,000 to $9,000. And I got to tell you, they're worth it. I know that sounds crazy, but I borrowed Michael's telly to do the session. And holy moly, I'm going to use it again in a few weeks. We're going to go back and do the 10-inch speakers for them. But yeah, you can reach out to those guys on Michael's Facebook page. I don't know how much longer he's going to make guitars. So if you're interested in one, get one. There's some used ones out there. Like when I got mine, I had one in like 2010, and I think it was $6,000 then. And it was worth it. It was great. Really good. Unfortunately, the recession, I had to sell it to survive. But it's money very well spent. And the amount of detail he goes to on a guitar, for good reason, not just to be nerdy, but for good reason, is unbelievable. You cannot believe it. He has his own hardware made. He makes his own pickups. He makes the nut, every single thing. I think the only thing that he buys are the tuning keys. Hoss Thompson says, I've been about 40 since I was born. Apparently. You were an old man when you were a kid, huh? I know people like that. I've always been, honestly, you guys don't know, but I straighten up so much for this show. I am a foul-mouthed, vulgar guy from the Midwest. But I can't, like people watch this. My cousin Joan is here, and my cousin Patricia was here, and a lot of my family show up. My parents, my dad, my mom's gone, but my dad will watch, and aunts and uncles, and they show up. So I can't be here going George Carlin's list of dirty words. Even though for those of you that know me in person, I am very much like this grandfather I told you about. A great American. Thank you, Phil. I'm very much like this grandfather I just mentioned. I'm kind of naughty and kind of bawdy. But I got to be straight here on TV, internet, whatever. Anyway, I got to run. I got to go over to Michael DeTemple's. Haas, yeah, you're right. No, I'm not. Definitely not. That's well said, though. I like that, that's one of the things I really missed about living in England. English people cuss way better than we do. Even though we can be way more vulgar and crass, they're more artful about their cussing. It's really good. The Missouri F-Bomb, my new band. Yeah, I'll play in that. I'll play rhythm guitar for you, Scotty. Glad you're here, Scotty, by the way. Yeah, the Missouri F-Bomb. Yeah. The amount of self-control I'm using right now would really impress you guys. I think you'd pat me on the back. Scotty knows, Phil knows, we've talked on the phone quite a bit. And I'm a foul-mouthed, Midwestern, corn-eating son of a meep. Anyway, I got to go before I get myself in trouble. Hey, I love you guys. I really do. I enjoy these conversations a lot. I hope you do too. And I'll have my 1970 Marshall here. It's a 50 water. I like 50 waters better than 100 waters actually, but it's I'll have it here next week. I don't know if the new Mullards will be, or the old Mullards will be in there or not. Probably, but we'll see. Anyway, all the best, guys. Have a great week and a weekend especially. And I'll see you next week, hopefully with some more updates. I think I'm going to go work down a Bad Cat next week. Thank you, Phil. Anyway, to be continued. You guys take care. Love you too, Dennis. Take care, brother man. And talk real soon. Take care.